Have you ever wanted something so deeply and it didn't happen? The job, the relationship, the opportunity, and that disappointment didn't just sting, it made you question everything. Was I wrong for believing? Is there something wrong with me? Maybe I'm just not meant for this. Disappointment is sneaky. It feels like rejection, it feels like failure, like a closed door being slammed in your face. But what if it's none of those things? What if disappointment is actually just a part of the process? This is part 2 of our series on attitude. And today, I want to flip the way you see disappointment. Because when you stop letting it define you and start letting it develop you, you don't just bounce back, you build forward. Why does disappointment cut so deep? You see, disappointment isn't just about what didn't happen. It would be easier if it was. But typically, disappointment is also about what you thought it would mean if it did happen. We don't just grieve the thing, we grieve the identity attached to it. If I landed that job, I finally feel like I'm taking care of my family. I feel like I'm doing a great thing as a man. If that relationship had worked, I feel like there's nothing wrong with me and that I am truly lovable. It's not just the dream falling apart, it's the belief that maybe you're the one falling short. And this is where disappointment turns dangerous. When it starts whispering that the delay is a denial of your value. But guess what? You are not your delay. You are not your disappointment. And in order to understand disappointment, we have to talk about what it feels like versus what it actually is. Disappointment triggers shame, self-doubt, disillusionment. And you start wondering if you were foolish for even hoping in the first place. Hope deferred makes the heart grow sick. But here's the truth. Disappointment is not proof that you're off track. It's often proof that you're simply being rerouted. When a GPS reroutes you, it doesn't always mean you're lost. You ever been driving with Google Maps? You already have the destination typed in as saying, all right, it's gonna be 30 minutes to your destination. And then out of nowhere, bloop, a faster route is available. Yeah, I want the faster route. Yes, let's go. Is it possible that the disappointment means that it's found a better way? In life, there is what I'll refer to as the silent setup. This is simply hidden expectations that set you up to fall. And one of the reasons disappointment hurts so much is we often tie unspoken expectations to the outcome. You didn't just want the promotion, you wanted what you thought it meant about you. You weren't just excited for the relationship, you were hoping that it would finally silence the voice that says you're not enough. So when it falls apart, it's not just sadness, it's a shot to your identity. And if you're watching me and you're experiencing a disappointment in life, I challenge you to ask yourself, what was I hoping that this would prove about me? Once you answer that, you can start to reclaim your power. There was a time that I poured everything into a project. Months of planning, investment, belief, time, and energy, and it flopped. It didn't just fail publicly, it hit something deep privately. But here's what I didn't see at the time. The door that closed led me to build something that had 10 times the impact. Something I would have never created had the original plan worked. Being short-sighted, it's easy to think that rejection and disappointment is the end. But hindsight will always tell the story that every disappointment is a setup. And you're watching me right now and you don't see it. But I promise you, eventually it's undefeated, it's never lost. And one day you will say, I thank God for the things that didn't work out, because what came next was so much better. When you look at life through the lens of disappointment, everything gets distorted. You stop dreaming, you start shrinking yourself, start playing smaller. You hesitate, you hold back, you overthink. Disappointment is like a cracked lens. If you keep seeing through it, everything you see will look broken. And worse, you start telling yourself stories. Stories like you're not good enough and you should stop trying. But here's what I want you to remember. Never make permanent decisions based on temporary emotion. You're still called, you're still capable, you're still becoming. You're not failing, you're being fortified. And disappointment isn't just emotional, it's educational. It builds resilience to handle more. It builds character to steward more. It builds vision to trust more. Like a muscle, you don't get stronger without resistance. And sometimes what feels like a setback is really strength training for your next level. You didn't lose, you're learning. And when this is all over, you're gonna be lifting weight that you never could before. So when disappointment hits, how do we begin to reframe and rise? Here's 4 steps. Step 1, name it. What was I really hoping for? And what did I attach to the outcome? Number 2, grieve it. Give yourself space to feel the loss of it. Avoiding pain only prolongs it. But you can't stay at the grieving stage, because step number 3 is reframe it. This is where you begin to ask, what could this be protecting me from or preparing me for? And step number 4, move forward. What's one small aligned step that I can take today to keep building? Forward isn't a giant leap, it's the next step. If this video is resonating with you, I've come to tell you, your next chapter isn't canceled, it's been rewritten. The story was never supposed to go the way that you had planned it. I know that you feel like you've lost some time. I've been there. I know it's tempting to quit. I've been there. But the truth is, your story isn't over. Your next chapter isn't canceled. And the chapter is moving towards providing you with more strength, more depth, more impact, and more clarity. Don't be deceived. What looks like rejection is often refinement. So breathe, trust the process, and keep building. Because you are not your disappointment. You are someone who rises above it. I'm gonna leave you with this story that I come back to often. There's a farmer who plants a bamboo seed. He waters it daily. He checks the soil. He nurtures the ground. He's doing everything that he's supposed to do. But days pass, weeks pass, months pass, years pass, and nothing breaks the surface. No sprout, no sign of life. Time goes by and nothing. Every day he wakes up and goes to bed, time goes by and still nothing. His family starts whispering, "Hey dog, I told you not to plant that bamboo tree." His mom starts suggesting, "Well, baby, maybe you should give up and try something else. There's plenty of other things you could put in the ground." Nah. The farmer keeps watering. 1 year, nothing. 2 years, nothing. 3 years, nothing. 4 years have passed, and by now you could say it with me. Nothing. Not a single inch of growth. But in the 5th year, something incredible happens. Seemingly overnight, the bamboo tree shoots up 90 feet in 6 weeks. And all the family and all of his friends come back and say, "Hey, look at that. We knew you were gonna build that tree. I had your back all along. We knew you were gonna grow that tree." And people that are short-sighted might think that just overnight, the tree shot up 90 feet in the air. But it didn't grow in 6 weeks, it grew in 5 years. Every day for 5 years, that farmer woke up to disappointment, but decided to keep watering. And underground, where no one could see, it was growing roots that were deep and wide, and most importantly, strong enough to support the massive tree. And if it had grown too early, it would have collapsed under the weight. The daily disappointment wasn't a sign that the seed wasn't working. It was a sign that the foundation was still being formed. And maybe that's where you are. Maybe what looks like a delay is actually root work. Maybe your growth isn't gone, it's just happening where no one can see. So before you walk away from what you planted, before you call it a failure, before you bury your dream and go do something safe because of disappointment, ask yourself, what if I'm not being denied, rather being developed? Because one day when it finally shoots up, People will marvel at your growth, and they will call you an overnight success. But you'll know the truth. You didn't just grow, you were fortified. And I leave you with this thought. Disappointment is not a dead end. It's a doorway disguised as delay. Always remember that growth is a journey, it's not a destination. I'm in it with you, and I'll see you on the next one.